Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen of the press. Before you hear are members of the Civil Society Reference Group, which is a coalition of over 200 human rights organizations, social justice movements, social movements, and public benefits organizations drawn from 25 counties across the Republic. We are calling this press briefing today to address ourselves to several issues that are of great importance to the people of Kenya and that are actually now taking place as follows. We want to start to address ourselves first with the issue of the State of the Nairobi Address that was delivered recently by His Excellency the Governor of Nairobi County, Governor Sakaja, and he touched on several issues that we as CSRG wish to respond to as follows. The first issue that the Governor touched on was the issue of the pending bills, where the Governor noted that the county had pending bills of more than 100 billion Kenya shillings. You see, the annual budget of the county is close to 39 to 40 billion. So when we are having bills or debts of 100 billion, it means those are 2 financial years. And the Governor stated that the county is conducting a review of the debts, including negotiations with the people the county is owing and also calling for debt swaps. We as CSRG, we are calling for a full citizen audit of these debts. We want to know who are we owing as Nairobians? How much is it? Who decided that Nairobi incurred that debts? Because we cannot just pay 100 billion, yet we don't know who we are paying. So it is important that, yes, the county cannot audit itself. So the Governor can't say that we have a bill of 100 billion and then they're investigating. So the citizens need to be on the forefront. On the issue of the healthcare, the Governor talked much about improving facilities at Mama Lucy, Mbagathi, Kenyatta National Hospitals. But I think his speech was silent on the status of health centers in the communities. Kangemi Health Center, Mount Gishagi Health Center. There are many health centers in the communities that are lacking essential drugs, staff, and we also concerned that in the recent fiscal strategy paper of Nairobi County, the county has a very big recurrent expenditure on health as opposed to development. So that we're also calling upon a focus to be given on ensuring that there are drugs in our health centers, because not everybody will go to Mbagathi. And again, the Governor was so much silent loudly about the ongoing doctors and clinical officer strike. The people of Nairobi are suffering. Health is a devolved function. The county need to tell us what they are doing to ensure that they address themselves to those issues. And on the revenue collection, the Governor talked about county targeting 19.9 billion in terms of the own source revenue in the coming financial year. But we note as CSRG that the county has consistently failed to meet past revenue targets. And last year, the last financial year, the county just did 52% of what they targeted. The county targeted 19 billion, and we only raised 10.5. It means it was 52%. And the county, the Governor was not clear. If they failed last year to meet their targets of 19 billion, they have not told us what went wrong, what they are putting in place to ensure that the problems are solved. Yet again, they are telling us that they want to raise the same amount. So we are calling as CSRG that the county should set its own source revenue at 12 billion, which is the best performance the county has ever had since 2013. You know, when the county set high targets, it means an increase in taxation because the county has to meet that target. So we find that we are being taxed high, but we can't meet the revenues. Where is the money going to? So the county needs to revise these targets to 12 billion so that we can also reduce the taxations being charged to Mama Mbogas of Nairobi County. On the issue of the harassment by county askaris, the Governor stated that the county has established an app that is going to ensure interaction between Nairobians and the county. But we are concerned that recently the Governor was quoted saying that the county askaris should harass or arrest anybody filming county askaris doing their work. So how will the app operate when again you are telling the askaris to beat up or to arrest people who are because without accountability of the people have a right to take, and taking videos of how askaris are harassing people is a right of the citizens. So you can't set an app and then huku unasema people to be arrested when they are taking such things. Then the issue of the ward development program, the governor stated that the county has increased allocation from 17 billion to 23 billion, which is good. But we are concerned as CSRG that the procedure of coming up with projects under the ward development program is not subject to public participation. Because it's the MCAs who sit down with their cronies and list projects. So these projects, since they are not coming from public participation, they are not, they can't be scrutinized. The public cannot monitor them. So the governor needs to ensure that the ward development program projects are subject to public participation. So that just like we do with other projects, the public needs to come up with the projects, but not the MCAs. We have had cases like in Karura ward, where one of my colleagues will tell you how there's duplication. So that you find that the ward development programs, they're telling us we have done this road, we have done this perimeter wall, yet that thing has been there, or that road has been done by another project. Also, finally, we were talking about the waste to energy plant in Dandora, and the governor talked about the plan to establish this plan, which is good because the issue of waste management is a menace. But we need to ensure that that waste plant is carried out, or the plans are done with the involvement of the public, especially in determining the impact of such a project to the residents of that area. And also to ensure that if there's any employment opportunities, then the locals of that area needs to be given priority. On Uhuru Park, we welcome the announcement that there will be free entry to Uhuru Park. And that, but we are concerned that the governor said Central Park will be charged. Yet this has been a public entity. We are asking, at what point did Central Park change from public to private? And was there public participation? So we want Central Park to be free, just like Uhuru Park. And we are also raising concern of the proposal that members of the public shall be leaving their ID cards while they're entering Uhuru Park. We are saying that is unacceptable. Entry to Uhuru Park and any other public entity should be free, unrestricted, and unconditional. On the landscaping projects, the governor has talked about plans to improve Kamkunji, Jivanji, and Jacaranda grounds. But we are calling that such improvements should involve the leadership of the various Bunge la Mwananchi platforms in those spaces. And we also want the governor to commit that, especially in Jivanji Gardens, that such improvement will not lead to privatization as what is happening in Central Park, because these parks are public and the people of Nairobi have a right to access them. On the housing, the governor talked about improving housing in Nairobi County, but we are concerned, it is not clear whether the housing the governor is talking about is the same thing about the housing levy. Because we are seeing county houses or estates being demolished and the national government coming to construct houses. Yet housing is a devolved function. So the governor is not clear whether hizi nyumba zake, are they different from the ones of the housing levy? And where will they be built if we are already having estates belonging to the county being earmarked for demolition? We are also calling for on the Nairobi City County government to come straight and claim its right of housing. Housing is a devolved function. Governor Sakaja should not cede the housing function to the national government, and procedurally. The law is very clear on the formula of transferring a function from national government or from the county government to national government. So the governor himself cannot purport to transfer a function that is being given to the county to the national government without following the due procedure of the law. And therefore we want the governor to ensure that the housing docket remains with the county. We also want the governor to ensure that the evictions and resettlement bill 2023 that is in the assembly, it needs to come back to the people. We are talking about the demolitions, yet we are having a law being developed clandestinely. So we need the law to come back to the people. And as CSRG, we wrote to the governor, we petitioned the governor and the speaker. 11 days, they have not responded. We are waiting for the lapse of the days. If they don't, we shall move to court to ensure that the county government is compelled to bring back the issue. On the issue of bursaries, the governor announced that the county has increased allocations of bursaries, but we are still seeing people crying. We are seeing fewer and fewer people getting the bursaries. Where is the money going to? We are having cases of more than one student getting bursaries from the governor, from the woman rep, from the MCA, from the senator, from the MCA, yet the others who don't get anything. So CSIG is calling upon public participation, establishment of public committees to do the vetting and to ensure that one student gets a bursary, no student gets more than one bursary.
Majina ni Silvanus Kasiti, Secretary CSRG Nairobi. The way my colleagues have mentioned, I would also want to point out a few issues from what the governor put across a few days ago as the state of the county of Nairobi address. One, the presentation was very good. The governor did very good in making the presentation, and how we wish that it was real on the ground. Because he explained so many things, and anybody who is listening for the first time would think that is the real Nairobi on the ground, but that's not the truth. The governor might be meaning well for this county, but unfortunately, the reality on the ground is speaking otherwise. One, he mentioned something about CIDP, and I want to address particularly the annual development plan 2023-2024. There is an allocation he's calling the Ward Development Program, and this money has been particularly given to MCS without the consultation of Nairobi citizens. And the way MCS are using this money, it's like they have been given, it's their own money. They can use it as they please. There is no project that is running on the ground, and I can quote a few words in particular, like Karura. We have also done a sample of, let's say, Westlands sub-county in particular. We were analyzing those projects, and the 23 million that has been allocated per ward, there is nothing running in this 2023-2024 year. It's almost over, and there is nothing that has happened. So I feel that we are being played. And same to that, there was an allocation to rehabilitate Githogoro Road in Karura Ward, about 19 million. When that money was questioned during one of the public participation sessions, our honorable member of the County Assembly, Finifiu, Kamau Thuo, clarified that it was done by Mheshimiwa Tim Wanyonyi. So the money that was initially allocated for that road was diverted to a social hall. It was to build a social hall in Githogoro next to the chief. And right now, the year is over, there is nothing happening. There is no social hall going on, and we know it's done. So we are now concerned if money is being diverted without even consulting the citizens. There was no ward session, the way the Act says, the Public Participation Act 2015. It says that if there is anything that is to be done on the ground, the member of County Assembly was supposed to call a public participation forum so that the citizens make a decision on how that money will be used. That was not done, and there is still nothing happening even if he did the decision alone. Two, the governor also mentioned something about housing, and he started by assuring the members of the County Assembly that they'll get houses. And he also assured those working in the county executive that they'll get houses before the lapse of this term of 5 years. And we are concerned if it's not another way of hoodwinking them to support him unconditionally. Because already the Ward Development Fund seems to be doing that. And now there is another thing, they are being promised keys for houses so that they do not seem to oppose what the governor might be coming up with. We know he means well, maybe, to ensure that we have that agreement, we have that harmony of working between MCAs and the county government, the executive. But he's also forgetting a very important component, the public. Where are the public in that harmonious arrangement? If he's hoodwinking the MCAs to work with him harmoniously, where is he leaving the general citizens? He mentioned about Woodley Estate and such kind of estates where we know it's only the rich who live there. and was giving the assurance that the rent they have been paying for all these years is equivalent to the mortgage for those particular houses. What about those people living in Korokocho and these other slum areas? The rent they have been paying to the county or in those county houses, does it amount also to the mortgage? And why is it that when it comes to such estates, they are giving a notice for those people to evacuate those houses and make sure they pay all the bills and all that? But when it comes to this other side where we have the rich people, they are saying that they are treating them with gloves. What's happening? Are we not operating under the same laws?